Hi, this is Tanner Taylor and I'll be showing you my first lab project. So as you see here, I have mixed reality. It's incorporated with physical and devices and with FactoryIO, which is a simulation software. So to start out with, I will give you a rundown of what my project does. So as you see here, there's parts. It'll send parts down this conveyor, read that QR code, this vision sensor, sending the part in the correct slot. So right now I have these blue unfinished parts going down the first chute, green unfinished goes down the second, and the finished parts go down the third. And then based on that QR code, it will open this arm and turn the conveyor on, or open this arm, turn the conveyor on. So here I'll hit reset and we'll hit start and we'll send a part count line. But as you see, it's in manual mode right now, so it'll only send one part down at a time. Send the part down and then you're ready to hit start again. It'll send that part down. Or you have the option to put it in auto mode, which you can hit start, and after that part goes down that third chute there, it will send another and keep going, so on and so forth. You have the ability to hit stop, and you can hit start and pick up right where it left off. That, or in auto mode here, you can chuck this and it will sense that it didn't hit this exit sensor right here, so it will shut down the whole machine with my watchdog timer I used. As you see, it is flashing now because the machine knows it's in an unsafe condition. Then here you have the ability to hit reset and start it back up again, or actually you have to reset FactoryIO because the machine is an unsafe condition, so you cannot send any more parts down the line. Here we'll hit stop. See, I will show a little bit of my, right here it shows my bin count, so you can see when it goes down that exit sensor, that chute now has 2 parts in it, and then these both have 0. If you go back to my programming, as you see here, this shows my safety okay. That's that condition, which my watchdog, if you throw a part, it reads an unsafe condition, or if the emergency stop is pressed. And then if you go down the machine enable, this has to be true in order to start the machine. And then if you go down here, that's just that startup bit, so it sends that first part all the way down that first conveyor on startup, and then after that this timer is no longer used. And then if you go down here, these are just my flashing lights for my reset. And then here's my conditions, so if it's not okay, the reset light will be on and flashing. And I also have an alarm, a physical alarm in the lab that's here. I put that test bit there so it wouldn't be going off at this moment. And if you go down here, these are just indicator lights, so my start light, virtual, physical, stop light, virtual, physical, and then down here, this is what tells my entry conveyor to move forward that certain amount of time, which is about 2.5 seconds. As you see here, when I send that part down, 2.5 seconds, it knows to stop, and then it sends that part down. And if you go back here, I'll show you a little bit more. I have that off bit, which also controls that timer, which is the on delay 2. That's actually the timer for my sort turn arms and conveyor belts. That's the time it takes to kick them out and then back in. And then that on delay 2 also resets those sort int 1, 2, 3. That's just the different arms. So I use those to control the arms. As you'll see down here, I will show you. So this rung right here is just forcing a 0 in there. That's when it hits the exit sensor. And if you go down here, the machine enable, this is that entry timer, which is 2.5 seconds, and then you have that other timer that sends it for 7 seconds on startup. And then down here, if the machine is enabled, the exit conveyor is always on. And then here are just VFDs. Those are my motors I use for each of my conveyors. So this would be a VFD, this is a VFD, the turn motor is a VFD, and the conveyor for each one of these. And then I'll go back here. So here's that sensor the vision sensor I was talking about that scans a QR code, and based on that value it'll send a 1 into that sort int 1, which that basically just tells the arms to go out or in. In this case, the arm would be true if there's a 1 value there, and then that's for the first arm, second arm, third arm. And then these equal equations are just based on that value the vision sensor reads. So these are the different parts, your red, blue, and then your red, blue, and for your lids and bases. And if you go down here, I use that sort int value to turn on those conveyors I was showing you about, the turn and the belt. I'll go back here. So if that's true, this arm goes out. Same thing for my second and third. And if you go down here, these are just the counters. So when it hits that exit sensor, based on which arm is true, it will send a value into those counters. And then these move functions from those counters of the accumulative value will send that into my display that you see here, my 1, 2, 3. Then if you go down here, I have it set so my finished product, which is the third counter, or the sort count 3, which is the last bin, if that hits 10, it'll reset, and you're able to set that to how many parts you want. Or if you hit the reset button, it resets them as well. And then down here is my watchdog. So if that exit sensor isn't triggered in auto mode, it will trigger an unsafe condition, making that safety OK false. And you're also able to reset that with the reset button. Here is my HMI. I'll go into the login page. So there's 3 logins: supervisor, operator, and janitor. That gives you different access levels. Supervisor has full access level, operator has access level to main, status, and alarms, and then janitor just has access to the login page and status. I'll just be showing you supervisor so you can see all pages, but if you wanted to log in, you just hit login, type in your username and password, hit login. So here you can see my little entry conveyor, exit conveyor, and then my sort turn. Those are those motors that kick that belt out, and then I have the belts as well down here. And then you can hit start and see which motor is on. That one kicked off, sending it all the way down to 3, and that count goes up here. And then here's the count of your third shoot, second, and then your first. And then you can put the finished product, which is this bin right here, up or down, and then that just tells the machine when to reset these values. So you could hit start, stop, reset, or you can put it in manual or auto mode. Right now it's in manual. So we'll put it in auto mode so you can see the status page. This will show which conveyors are on, which sort turns are on, which belts are on, and your bed count. And if you go here to trends, it will show you a layout of how much product is in each bin. I did this as like a waste management program, so you can see your waste product, which would be count 1 and 2, and your finished product, which is to see the production levels of your plant. Then if you go here to the alarms page, we will make an alarm go off by simply just throwing apart, making an unsafe condition. Go back here, an alarm will pop up, give it a couple of seconds, and you'll have the ability to acknowledge clear the alarm. It also pops up on any screen. You don't have to be on the alarms page, but like here we'll just hit clear the alarm, we'll close it, pops up on the alarms page, and we'll hit clear, and then you can start the machine again, or look at what went wrong with the machine. And yeah, that's a basic layout of my program. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Here I'll be showing you some of my CAD drawings I used to complete this project. As you see here, this is my disconnect. This controls power to all of my VFDs and my equipment. So my PLC, panel view, inputs, outputs, power to the VFDs. And then, as you see here, this controls all the relays to my motors on the end of my VFDs. If you go over here, I did a basic layout of my VFDs, all the terminals on them, which I only used a few. I used like the digital input 2, and then I used my outputs, and obviously your voltage coming in and your common. Here are my outputs. I have my VFDs for my outputs and some relays, as you see on each of my output blocks on my PLC. So 0 goes to VFD 1, 2 goes to VFD 3, and so on. And here's my input side. So you can see my stop button, start button. Ooh. And then you're also able to see the input. So my VFDs have the ability to send input values to my PLC, making sure that VFD is on and running, or the speeds or adjustments you can make. And then here's some expansion input cards that I did not use, but they're there, so I drew them for future references. More expansion inputs, and then I have some expansion outputs. These are all just open blocks used for future reference. And yeah, thank you.